চতুর্থ শিল্প বিপ্লবের চ্যালেঞ্জ মোকাবেলায় নবায়নযোগ্য শক্তির উন্নয়নকে অর্থনৈতিকভাবে লাভবান করতে সুদূর প্রসারী পরিকল্পনার আহ্বান জানিয়েছেন বিদ্যুৎ, জ্বালানি ও খনিজ সম্পদ বিষয়ক উপদেষ্টা ডক্টর তৌফিক ইলাহি। বৃহস্পতিবার ইউনাইটেড ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইউনিভার্সিটিতে নবায়নযোগ্য জ্বালানির উন্নয়ন ও প্রযুক্তি নিয়ে 3 দিনের আন্তর্জাতিক সম্মেলনে এসব কথা বলেন তিনি। সরকার সবুজ জ্বালানি নিয়ে কাজ করছে জানিয়ে ডক্টর তৌফিক ইলাহি বলেন, দেশ ও জাতির কল্যাণে এই প্রক্রিয়া চলবে। ভবিষ্যৎ প্রজন্মের জন্য টেকসই পরিবেশ নিশ্চিতে নবায়নযোগ্য শক্তির ব্যবহার বৃদ্ধির উপর গুরুত্ব দেওয়ার তাগিদ দেন তিনি।
I had the privilege of attending one of their pilot projects. They were aggregating the small solar panels all around the village in a peer-to-peer network. Then once they're good enough, they are putting up in the grid. So this was a very interesting experiment which only was relevant in Bangladesh, where we already had solar home system set up, because we were moving parallel when we were trying to develop a national grid system and national power system. So very interesting things, challenges to be solved, while you all pursue more generic missions. I've been going around more so in last few months or so, on a mission, because we have about 1.2 million diesel-fired power pumps, and we need water during the day for irrigation. So there is a combination of energy source and its use. We don't have to bother much about storage. But technically, it is a solution there. I've gone around and seen some of these projects. I saw one company advertising here that they have been providing solar irrigation system. But the challenge actually lies in how to scale it up to 1.2 million diesel-fired solar power pumps. And some of the challenges that come along with engineering innovation is how you get it adapted in a society whose ethos, culture, habits may be different. We are still on that mission. I hope get some partners from. There are some technical challenges also, but they are minimal now. So sometimes these technical solutions are there, but it is very difficult to scale them up. So I think I would recommend, as you pursue things in the lab, do expose the researchers to other social challenges that come along with innovation. Then you can fine-tune the solution which will suit the needs of the customers, if I may put it that way. Now, I had the privilege of working, listening to Professor Rezwan in ways we could leapfrog the cooking history of the world by moving straight to electric cooking. There has been some pilot projects where both solar and grid was integrated, and then it was the household tried to cook through that particular system, and it has turned out to be, at the given prices, more affordable, if I am correct, than either the LPG or the LNG or the other solutions that people are working on. Here I bring this example because I had the privilege of, or call it privilege or otherwise, of attending a meeting where some of the development partners were proposing that by 2030 they'll have improved cooking, those you make ovens, traditional ovens, more efficient. You find out some ways of getting those charcoals more carrying more energy, those kinds of traditional solutions. And the idea was that about 3 million or 30, I've forgotten, households would have access to this kind of improved cooking. That really hurt my ego. And I stood up and said, look, don't bring me here. If you think our mothers, sisters would be shoving these things in 2030, you are mistaken. We should be able to have the confidence to leap forward in technology, find our own solutions, and even set standard. This place has given birth to great scientists. Maybe not too many. Jagadish Bose, Satyen Bose, they're all from this part of the world. And so, in that tradition, we should have more confidence in dealing with challenges, both in science and in other domain of life. Now, let me congratulate also some of the sponsors, Huawei. I'm glad to see that they have set up a lab here. So I feel very encouraged that business is also participating in academic endeavor. I would expect more companies to come and join hands with other universities so that, our students, researchers have not only more access to financial resources, but also access to technology, access to what's being practiced elsewhere in the world. So I congratulate all of you who have sponsored this conference and Huawei for setting up a lab here. And let me again finish my deliberation by thanking you all for having organized this conference, and I'm sure some of the results will help us move forward and face the challenges that we already have. Before I finish, it did come up in your, what is your name? Professor Intekhab's speech that clean energy is really the goal. Renewable energy is only a subset of clean energy. And it's not a binary choice that you are either green or you are not green. There are shades of green also. And it did come up in the discussion that hydrogen or carbon capture and storage, or there may be other new technology that would come up. That should eventually form a part of your department. That would help, broaden the domain of research. And although people don't try to mention or do not mention, nuclear energy is even cleaner than solar energy. Because if you take the life cycle emission, solar energy has higher emission than nuclear energy. So I would encourage our researchers to, get involved in nuclear energy. We're already setting up 2 power plants, and I hope there will be other occasions to, integrate more of nuclear energy. And there are certain areas where need for a lot of research in smaller modular reactor, in micro reactor, or in terms of finding, source material, let's say uranium, to access domestically so that we could enrich to our need. These are things also I would encourage our researchers to look into.